They were a group of transport enthusiasts brought together to hear about progress with the Edinburgh trams. They were given a tour of the control centre at Gogar and told how work on the track was starting again at various points along the line. They included one of the drivers from the city's original tram network, which closed in 1956.
I was impressed with it, really impressed. I didn't think it was as far as that was. Although I thought I was going to have to go there and just step on a tram and get a run around the garage. But a wee bit further, I think. But it was good to see the poles and all that, everything up, the rails, the tracks all laid, it was good.
One of the party was a writer on transport who's delivering a series of talks on the growth of tram networks.
I'm a strong supporter of the project because although perhaps it won't make a great deal of difference to us today or even over the next few years, I think for the long term it's absolutely, I wouldn't say it's vital, but it's extremely important that Edinburgh has a modern, environmentally friendly transportation system that can cope with growth. The president of Ford Motors Europe just the other week, someone at the top of the road traffic industry said we should be all aware that environmentally friendly cars and whatnot will not solve the congestion problem. It's actually quite noticeable how many cities around the world are either building or expanding tram networks.
There were two former civil servants, both of whom had worked with the old Scottish Office Transport Department. One had designed a standard form of contract for infrastructure work, one that's still being used in some sections of the Scottish Government.
Very much so. In fact, I was at pains to write a long paper about what I'd done before I left the Scottish Office, and I supplied that paper around the country and gave a lecture about it in Glasgow to an assembly of civil engineers, etc. And it has the actual initiative that I set up myself. It was called the Alternative Tendering Initiative, which presented an array of different steps in the process, from the contractor doing what he was told and being paid for doing what he was told, until the contractor deciding what he wanted to build and being paid for what he decided to build, provided it was compliant with the government specifications.
I believe Edinburgh problem started really in the planning stage, where they clearly didn't have updated records of what was underneath the street surface. As highlighted by a striker problems at the west end of Princes Street, which I saw, highlighted by the graveyard problems in Leeds. But then on top of that, I think from the money angle, not enough control was kept of that.
You've got to have the contract as tightly sewn up as you can, but as loosely in its organisation to be able to assess and deal with all of the very, very different things that you're going to find along the road, including archaeology for Scotland coming in and saying, you shall not dig here for another 3 months because we want to actually investigate this site. So the contractor is then, he has to give up his possession of the site to whoever wants to look at it. So there are huge complications.
All say they're looking forward to seeing trams on Edinburgh's streets again. Former tram driver Charlie Young, now aged 86, says he hopes to live long enough to ride on one.